ago, about 7-8 years. Yes, counting back 9 years thereabout now. We were having a meeting in my place. So part of the people that came for the meeting, some of my brethren and daughters and sons who were in nursing school, put a bus and brought their students in nursing school. So it was time for our usual 24 hours prayer chain. And we had divisions in group. Some guys that came with trousers that I could not explain. Then their Timberland was like this. When they arrived, they divided them. I was glad. Holy Ghost is wonderful. He spotted one guy. There was this guy that was so mad about how he looks. I just saw him carrying himself. You know, there is a way he's been walking in the whole conference. You know, when we are walking, he will just be walking like this. Anybody greet him, he said, nothing, man. In this generation where nobody is standing well, we are trying to stand well. You are falling yourself. We are trying to gain our feet because the storms are too much. People that have 2 legs, that are using 2 legs well, are trying to put their feet on the rock. And you are throwing one ahead of the other. You will soon follow. Catastrophic fall that when we lift you up, we will look for your pieces up and down. When he came, listen, he saw some of the young daughters that God had helped me brood over the years. He looked at their faces. They were looking good. He liked them. He didn't know we heard him. He touched one. He said, man, not here. When they shared prayer group, they gave him 7 of my daughters and he was the only man. I said, blessed are thou amongst women. They started prayer chain. He was standing like this. When they started the prayer chain, he said, he came to me, he came to confess, crying with tears. He said what made, when he knew he was in trouble was when the sister that was leading the prayer chain told the brethren, he said, brethren, this matter that daddy raised today, there's a burning in my heart. Is there burning in your heart? All the sisters said, my heart is burning. They said, even though our prayer chain is 1 hour, who feels like going 3 hours? They said, I feel like going 3 hours. He said, that's when he first of all asked himself, why am I tossed? He now said that the one moderating the prayer said, what will happen is, I have about 7-8 prayer points. How we are going to do it, we take a prayer point the way I taught them. We take a prayer point, we scatter 20 minutes, everybody on your own. After 20 minutes, we will regather. So he said, oh, well, I'm a man. Oh God, there is no man in this thing. No. What is in these sisters is more manly than you. Some of these sisters you are looking at here, the vibrator and locomotive engine inside them is 10 times. They said to Naomi, they said, blessed be thy daughter Ruth, who is more to thee than 7 sons that don't know their purpose. 7 sons that don't want to pursue God. 7 sons that don't want crown, they want face cap. 7 sons that don't want to go for signet and rod. They called the first prayer point. He said he observed that some of the sisters stood like this and put their hand in their waist and faced heaven. He said after 15 minutes, he had finished praying. He had prayed for Nigeria. He had prayed for his community. He said he even prayed for Ghana, prayed for South Africa in 15 minutes. He said he had finished. In fact, he entered praises. As they were still praying, he was still Idima Iduku. Oh, Chin. He entered praises. After praises, he entered worship. After worship, he told me, he said, man of God, I even started singing hymns. I started singing hymns, and I looked at these sisters. They were still holding their hand in their waist, doing their leg. May God raise daughters here. I said, may God raise daughters here. Who will show the world that you are not a sex toy? May God raise daughters here. Lionesses. Their eyes will be red. Their voice will be strong. Their teeth can grind bones. May God raise daughters here. Their arms shall have claws to tear the prey. Sit down. He said that's when, he said as soon as that happened, that's when he pulled up his trouser. There are things people will see, you will stop sagging. He pulled up his trouser. He said, I pulled up my trouser by myself, bent down and buttoned and buckled my shoe. He said after 1 hour, I was already lying down, waiting for whenever they will release me here. Until my only case is you, Spirit keep brooding over me, till I look more like you, till I'm deep and lost in you, until I'm deep and lost in you.